And we're live.
This is Work Not Words, coming to you live from Saipan. I'm Alex.
And I'm Tobias.
And today we're going to talk about what we're missing.
What are we missing?
Because we all miss the mark sometimes.
We do.
But as long as we're willing to reflect and learn from it, it can be very productive. So we created this podcast in response to a tweet Tobias made. A sentiment that I think many people share. Want to read the tweet for us?
Yes, I can do that. So I said the following, which is am I the only one who's like chill with the Taliban taking control over Afghanistan? What am I missing? ?
And this, I think, is very common sentiment among those who are frustrated with the woke. Right? What was your thought when you tweeted this?
I was like, the military-industrial complex no longer like wastes all of that over Afghanistan, like all of this forced influence they want to have over that place. Also, like I'm like, okay, like if they have that territory, like if they have control over that territory, what's the like, just let them do whatever they want over there. Like why is it why is it my job to change what's going on in there, right?
Yeah. Well, I had a similar conversation earlier today where one of my friends messaged me and said that, this is probably Biden's biggest policy failure. And my default instinct was like, was this a failure? Right, kind of similar to you, because it's kind of like there's a military industrial complex where it's like there's always a reason. Every time a war ends, it's like, this was a mistake. See, here's why this was a mistake. Next time we shouldn't leave. In fact, we should just go back.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I kind of felt that kind of energy coming back, where even this friend was a liberal who was messaging me. So the liberals who, care so much about people and humanity and
peace
and all that kind of stuff.
Kumbaya.
They're like, we need more war to fix this. And I'm just like, no. It kind of like almost triggers me. Not even kind of, it triggered me. And I was just want to reply, no, it's great that the Taliban took over. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, well, is it? It's good that
one tweet reply Vin made, Cyprian, he said, like, because I was like, what am I missing? And he said, seeing a live beheading or hand chopped off, right?
Yeah. And it's like, the advantage of the Taliban is that they are super anti-woke. So when you go on TV and you see things like vaccine passports and testing and all these things that they want to just make forever, just like a new 9/11 essentially, where it's like these temporary measures are now becoming permanent. Now we've changed the terms, pray we don't change them any further. And you're like, this sucks. Like, this is terrible energy, terrible oppression. If only like there was some place that could resist, because even America, the land of the free law is not doing so well. Better than the rest of the world, but like, that's a pretty low bar. But yet you have the Taliban who's like, no vaccines here. Any like UN workers try to give out vaccines, they're getting beheaded. And there is like some appeal to this in like I would say almost a toxic masculinity kind of way. Like if we were to say there is such thing as toxic masculinity, it would be this.
It's the Taliban's 100%, yeah.
Not even the Taliban. Well, the Taliban are, I don't think they're masculine. I would say that
they have pretty crazy beliefs, that's for sure. Yeah.
But they're not masculine, right? It's like largely based around like insecurity and like low intellect, and like they're not well-reasoned beliefs. Whereas I think the toxic masculinity is this desire, well, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Right? Where it's like, well, as long as the woke are freaking out about this, then it's good. And the woke are freaking out about Afghanistan. They're just like, all those girls in Afghanistan are like gonna have to wear headscarves again, and they're not gonna be able to like work and not be able to get educated.
Well,
And
it's a little worse than having to wear a headscarf. Yeah.
yeah, but that's one of the concerns they're bringing
Yeah.
up is like these female education,
Mm, yes.
the
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
equality, like those type of things. And the toxic masculinity reaction is kind of just to be like, good, good. Like they're keeping their pimp pants strong.
Yeah.
They're not
Oh
tolerating
boy.
any of this drama. But I think that's a mistake. And that's sort of the road to fascism, right?
Mm,
We're like the young males who are like disgruntled with the existing regime, who's just being very tyrannical.
mm,
And it's like, well, we believe, like, I mean, I guess I'll just speak for myself. I believed all that stuff. Land of the free, home of the
mm,
brave. Like, I was raised a liberal, those liberal values. Like, I might not agree with you, I have to say, but I'll fight for your right to say it.
yeah.
Like, I didn't know that was like just words. I thought that was like
And
real.
we have like a similar story in Germany, just is like really lame, and like we don't pledge allegiance to anything, but we still have those stories. And like once you realize they're like kind of nonsense, it just you find something else, right?
Well, for me, I was saying more that I had believed in all of these ideas and I thought everyone else did.
Mm,
And then when you discover that these are not the rules that others are playing by, you're like, well, then I should play by the new rules.
mm,
So if there's going to be like a fascist takeover, like a medical fascist takeover where, well, trust the science, we got this new edict, you got to do this now, then the temptation is to say, well, why don't we just do our own version of this? We have our own edicts. Our edicts will result in positive outcomes. So therefore it's okay. So I think that's a appeal, especially to young men, because
yeah.
they're, high testosterone, like we're still hungry,
Yeah.
unmarried, unfathered, without child. So we're just like too much energy. And when you're like challenged in the way that the average guy is being challenged right now, then your instinct is to like, well, we got to hit back. But I think turning the other cheek is probably the right move in this regard. The response to the like medical fascism we're seeing now is not like
Mm,
a different fascism. It's to show them that there's another way.
mm,
And that's what we're trying to do over here in Saipan,
yeah.
is just show that there's another way.
Should we segue to that?
Sure, why not?
So yeah, we just yesterday got new movers out of quarantine, Tim and Emily, and do you know that Ron Paul meme was like, it's happening? I totally get that feeling now, where it's like, wow, we're just growing. We're like building actually like a community where I'm like actually like looking forward to like having these meetups. Otherwise, it's just not a chore, where it's like, okay, I'm actually like living in a thing that I actually want to be in, right? Where like
Yeah.
embody with through the community my beliefs, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. It's even more surreal for me because like this was just the idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, all these people here, how that happened?
You're the father of all of this.
Yeah, somehow. So it's
Well,
definitely,
Alex is like Vin and I, we say you're a rock, right? You just go somewhere and you just sit there and you make things happen. I mean, that's not exactly what a rock does, but it feels like you're just indestructible.
yeah, well, I guess things can look different from afar.
You're out of words.
Yeah, like a rock. Silent but deadly. That's something else. But
The
yeah,
Taliban, for example.
it's definitely cool to see people moving over. They're the second couple that's come this month as well.
Yeah.
And there's some other potential ones who are on the way. And some residents who've been off island are also planning to return. So it's just exciting to see things progressing, both in terms of people and then the infrastructure.
Yeah. We also.
So we're basically moving over all of our merchants to the new RaiPay ecosystem, getting rid of the shitcoin USDT for the, you know, Rai USD master race. So that's always fun to, you know, explain to the merchants why we switched, and it's cool to see them like they kind of understand. So it started off with no understanding, which was the goal, right? Stable coins are good because you don't need to understand.
Yes.
This is like PayPal. You have some balance, it's on your phone, and you can use it places.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, like the light bulb clicks.
Yeah.
Okay, we could try this out. And then when you explain, this lowers the fee and it gives like more stability and other benefits. They're like, and because remember, these people, we've been using stablecoin in commerce for almost a year now. And they see the problems. Like when Bitcoin.com breaks something in an update, like our merchants see that, where their wallet's out of sync. And they're like, well, I saw on the terminal that we had this $10 transaction, but my wallet doesn't show it.
Yes.
And then I looked on the blockchain, and it's like, oh wow, they know how to look at the blockchain.
Yeah.
Like I just started crying.
It's happening.
My voice growing up.
And they're like just normal, you know, island people, right?
Yeah, that was weird.
Did you hear that?
That was Siri.
I'm sorry.
I thought Mother Mary is talking to me.
Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. So yeah. So the Bitcoin.com wallet has this sync error that's happened probably 3 times, where like the merchant would just be like, oh yeah, because they understand that, you know, this is new technology, it's cutting edge, and that it's not always going to work. But it was like kind of like embarrassing when it's like, like, why can't they just stop updating the wallet? Like,
yeah,
they're making it, the trust in crypto decrease.
Yeah.
So now that we have our own wallet, our own terminals, our own,
we can
everything,
fix bugs left and right as we wish.
Yeah, there's no delay in the feedback, and we also are responsible too. So now it has to be more works than words, right? It's easy to say, oh, Bitcoin.com, they update all the time, and that's what we said, which was, I mean, it's the case where they'll just move features, remove features, add them in, like switch the settings menu, so you like don't know how to resync
like
your
even
wallet.
You didn't find that.
yeah, it's like, where is it? It used to be here, like it's got to be here. And eventually Tobias was able to help me find it. But it was
but
like,
the Bitcoin.com wallet is actually quite complicated, because you have like, can have like multiple wallets, and then there's like different levels of settings, right? You have like the like app-wide settings, you have the wallet-wide settings, and there might even be like some next level of settings, but those are the two, and like you have to take care of them separately. Yeah,
so I think it's, we want to encourage Bitcoin.com with some constructive criticism.
Yeah, and until then, like until you fix it, we just won't use your product.
Yeah.
And but we also might never return.
We also appreciate what they've done, because like they were the only wallet that supported multiple wallets in one, push notifications, and some other features that the average person is used to. So when the merchants can get that push notification when the transaction happens, they love that. You just see them smile, like, oh, we just got to pay it.
Yeah.
Because they don't get that for the credit card. They don't get that for the cash.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is cool.
This is instant.
I took like a risk for my business, try something new. I got rewarded again and again and again and again. And so I think
push notifications are huge, which is like, I was a little confused that you guys like pushed so hard, no pun intended, on push notifications. But I can totally see that, where it's like, you know, you need to get this engagement, you need to get this almost like haptic feedback, only that it's not haptic, but
it's even better.
It's even better.
Right. Vibrations, you know, they can have some benefits, but you know, money has even more benefits, and it's just,
and especially if you combine them.
Yeah. So yeah, there's going to be some RaiPay related notification updates rolling out. We plan to do some fun things with that. Just a little tease. Now you know what you're missing.
Play Store.
So yeah,
I think that's a good place to end it. We had like a low note, and then
it would have been good had you not whispered that thing when I had the perfect exit. Now you know what you're missing.
Yeah. Well, we just keep that in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was Work Not Words. I'm Tobias.
I'm Alex.
You should have had low cadence or something. I don't know. Anyway, goodbye.